We bought the property where Santa Familia sits over 15 years ago. It was a white elephant. We bought perhaps the ugliest building in a beautiful neighborhood, but it was always special. It had this one incredible feature. It had this amazing geometrical concrete grid of horizontal and vertical crucifixes. And that feature became the sort of leitmotif of the building. I'm Casey Harden. I'm the founder of Conservatorio, and we're the developer of Santa Familia in Casco Viejo.
Today, we're going to talk about the crown jewel of Casco Viejo, Santa Familia. This is a project that took so many years, from the initial all the way to completion. We're going to be talking about what made this amazing project happen, from conceptual to delivery of this amazing project.
Large parcels in a historic district like Casco Viejo. It took us 15 years from the time we bought the first parcel that makes up Santa Familia to the time we started construction. And that size, it really is, in a way, the greatest luxury of the building, because the size allows you to have amenities that people want, like underground parking and a gym and a pool. But it also allows you to have space. That size allows you to have the open courtyards and the gardens, and allows the building to breathe, and it allows the building to feel like a community. It has different wings that interact with each other, but they're also intimate at the same time. We think a lot about how to create community. That's something that is special about Casco Viejo in general. In Santa Familia, we always had this vision of these 1970s Slim Aaron photos that were really our guiding vision of luxury. It was the idea of spending quality time with your friends and family. As we were thinking about building the community of Santa Familia, we realized that we were getting buyers from all over the world with these diverse backgrounds. And we were thinking about how, we can help them to get to know each other and help them mix as they're moving in. And so we sent out a survey to them, all the buyers, and we asked them to tell us their favorite book, their favorite movie, to tell us at what place and time would they have liked to have lived if they could have. And so we took the results of the survey and we worked on it. And we generated a book list for the library based on the tastes and passions and interests of the people who are going to be populating the building. And we really didn't tell them what we're doing. So over time, they'll start to realize that the books in the library are really picked for them. And hopefully it'll get them to get a sense for each other and have things to share. One of the things that I think makes Santa Familia really special is the openness of the gardens and the common areas. And that almost didn't happen. In our original plans, we had the pool running down the center courtyard, and we had the apartments going out all the way to the beach. And almost on the eve of submitting the plans, I sat down with our architect, Hildegard Vasquez, and we looked at each other and we realized it wasn't going to feel right. Mr. Excel certainly wanted those 3 extra apartments, but we decided to cut it out, and she took 3 months to redesign the project. But the result was the pool by the ocean. It was openness. I think, the result was the feeling that I think, is part of Santa Familia. The guiding design principle around Santa Familia was always timelessness. There's a school of thought that says that new buildings in historic districts should be built in the vernacular of the day, should be clearly representative of the moment they were built. And we looked at doing a modern building here, and we actually did some designs. But in the end, we felt that a neoclassical design spoke to us and our customer more. And those lines we felt would look good and feel appropriate, not only the moment the building was built, but also for generations to come. That combination of timeless design and modern comforts sort of runs throughout the entire project. When I think about the providers who worked with us in making Santa Familia a reality, there's this combination of providers like Miele, who make state-of-the-art appliances, and then artisans. We worked with an artisan who we love to work with, called Sofia Alvarado, who did our front desk and did the bookshelves in the library, and just handcrafts everything. She does hundreds of designs until she and we feel perfectly comfortable with the work, and then she produces it with her team. We worked with Granada Tiles, who made our caustic tiles in the same way they've been made for literally thousands of years. So that combination is one of the things that makes Santa Familia really special and just feel timeless.
As Casey mentioned, this is a very special reception desk. This was made by artist Sofia Alvarado, who used the logo of Santa Familia that embodies the external part of what used to be the former school of Santa Familia. Sofia has a special relationship with the project because her mom used to be a student here. Santa Familia was known for being the only school for girls at the time, and it actually produced what was Panama's first female lawyer in the country. And many don't know that, in fact, she was probably the first Latin American lawyer to pass the New York bar. So from Panama to the world, from Santa Familia to the world, a little story by just looking at this desk. The same artist is the artist that worked on the library, so you'll see a continuation of her love in that design.
We're really passionate about landscaping. Landscaping is something that I think often gets left to the end of projects and kind of just gets squeezed out of the budgets when projects get to their conclusion. For us, landscaping was something we built in from the beginning. We talked to landscaping providers and some of them told us it's impossible to move trees bigger than 6 meters, and I think there must be some textbook somewhere that says that. But I called my old friend Nathan Browning at Island Planning Corporation, And he came in with his team, would do projects all over the world, and they put in 60-foot tall palms that look great on day one, and dozens and dozens of species and little surprises that'll grow over time. And I think the gardens will end up being everybody's favorite part of Santa Familia when it's all said and done.
One of the main pieces of Santa Familia, and my personal favorite, is the palm garden. This I like calling the green neighbor for Santa Familia. It is not a manicured garden. This is a true Panamanian jungle. It's alive, and it includes multiple species that you can find here in Panama. From the classic palms to cacao, to miracle fruit, to orchids. This garden is alive, and with every season it's going to change. You'll see a green river with explosions of yellow, and then birds. It's all going to be, depending on the season, never the same garden.
The landscaping, when you're walking around the courtyards of Santa Familia, you see the trees coming out and they just seem like trees in the ground. But when you go underground, you realize that many of those trees are in large planters that are built into the structure. Each of those planters is the equivalent of a swimming pool. So we ended up building the equivalent of 4 swimming pools. It's just that 3 of them are filled with soil and plants, and 1 of them's filled with water so that you can swim in it.
Casqueños, we get excited about parking. This is worth gold in historic cities, especially in UNESCO World Heritage Sites. This is an amazing feature of a whole block being dug underneath. On top, remember, Santa Familia's gardens, all the common areas, apartments, and in fact, historic homes on that side. This parking goes from street to avenue to ocean. So from here, you'll have not only parkings that are single parkings, tandem parkings, the 4 elevators reach this area, but also here, you have all the back of the house that it's so difficult to have in a historic home. You will have the electrical plants that will power inside and outside the apartment. So if any time there is a power outage or a blackout, Santa Familia will have electricity, common areas and apartments, thanks to this system. As well as you can see the systems exposed. This makes it easier for what we call the life after delivery, which is taking care of the maintenance. Our engineers placed everything clearly so that the maintenance afterwards would be fast and efficient. So the parking lot is far more than just parking, so keep tuned.
One of my personal passions is surfing, and that's actually what brought me to Panama. And so that kind of made its way into Santa Familia. You know, we're on the beachfront, but it's a beachfront that's been ignored for generations. It used to be a really important feature in the city, but people got away from it. So one of the things that's kind of been this theme in Santa Familia is getting people back to the beach, getting them to use the beach again. So that's why we have the surf shop, and that's why we bought the paddle boards, and have really invested in getting the residents to understand that that beach is there to be used. The more you use it, the better it's going to look, and the cleaner it'll be. So that surfing thing is a kind of a sub-thread in Santa Familia's story.
If you saw the original building that was here 20 years ago, this space did not exist at all. This was a dark box on a dark side that basically covered everything and went over the beach. One of the beauties of the space that we see here is that it was designed to open up and get all the natural light. This is part of what we dreamed about. We dreamed about a community that would share, open, close, that would host dinners, Christmas, anything, just hang out. Play dominoes, play backgammon. You'll see that there are games all over. Have dinners. You can host dinners here up to 12 people seating, or just a birthday party. For that, we included an amazing chef's kitchen by Mile that will cater this whole space. But this is an amazing area just for the residents to enjoy whenever they want. Many ask us, who helped you with the interior design? It's colorful, it's fun, and it's tropical and yet elegant. So this design was by a Brazilian interior decorator, Aline Trinidad, and the furniture comes from all over. We have local furniture, we have companies from Nicaragua like Masaya, but above all, and you will find this through Santa Familia, is the presence of plants. Plants and gardens are part of what makes this just feel amazing. You are in the tropics, so the lobby and the whole project celebrates that basically you're in Panama to give you that sense of place. This is the jungle inside and out.
Santa Familia is the most luxurious project that we've built to date, and we're really proud of that. But we're also proud that we build the most affordable apartments in the city, and they're just a few blocks away from Santa Familia. And we think that really makes for a neighborhood that's more eclectic, more vibrant, more livable, and ultimately just stronger, more resilient, more authentic.